Welcome back everyone to another episode on the Project Nodenium server. Today we are starting off in the build that we completed last time, and I am still super happy with how it turned out, which is probably a good thing because I will be spending a lot of time here collecting up resources that we are going to be using in all of the builds this season. In today's episode, there are 3 different projects that I want to work on. The first project that I want to work on today is increasing the number of pickaxes that I have, because right now I only have a few and only 2 of them are netherite. And at this point in the season, that's just not going to cut it. I was thinking of building a slime farm, but it looks like this build is in a slime chunk, so I have easy access to all of the slime that I will probably ever need to have this season. The second project that I want to work on is connecting up this room with the build up at the top, and I have some pretty interesting ideas that I think would be really fun to work on. And taking a look at our project board, the last thing that I want to work on in today's episode is this mushroom farm. For our first project, I think what we should do is see how much netherite we can gather, and that will tell us how many tools we'll be able to craft up. I've got all my shulker boxes collected up, and I think what we need to do now is go collect as much sand as possible, because we are going to have to craft up a bunch of TNT. And to gather up a bunch of sand, we need to go look for a desert, which I think we can find if we head off in this direction. Oh, check it out. There's a desert temple over here. Maybe we should check and see if we can get a smithing template from it. All right, let's take a look. Nope. 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 Oh, that's too bad. We did. Ooh, infinity. We'll take that. And I think we'll take these golden apples as well. All right, well, I guess what we should actually do is what we came to the desert to do in the first place, and that's collect a bunch of sand. We were able to collect up 4 full shulker boxes worth of sand, and you wouldn't really be able to tell that we collected it from this area. And I think that's pretty good. On the server, we have a community raid farm, which enables us to be able to collect a bunch of gunpowder as well as emeralds and redstone and lots of other things. And if we take a look in this chest here, you can see, we just have tons of gunpowder that we'll be able to use to craft up TNT. So with the 4 shulker boxes worth of sand and 5 shulker boxes worth of gunpowder, we end up with 1 shulker box full of TNT. I think that should help us collect a bunch of netherite. We just need to return these shulker boxes to the system, and that way they'll be there to be able to collect up more resources next time. I was off trying to find a place where we could search for some ancient debris, and look what I found. This is a good start. So I've dug out a tunnel, and we are just about ready to start lighting the TNT to search for the ancient debris. And I am going to try out a slightly different method than what I've done in the past, which is based on a method that was put out by Cubfan. And if you want to check out his video where he explains it, I've included a link in the description down below. But let's get started. I spent about 3 hours searching for ancient debris, and I ended up with 1 stack and 24, which is a little bit less than what I was hoping to get, but I think that should be good to get started. But while searching for the ancient debris, I died next to some lava and lost my elytra, which means that we need to replace that in addition to crafting up all of the netherite gear. Luckily, this shop sells elytra, so we will be able to replace it pretty easily. It'll just cost us 12 diamonds. For crafting up the netherite gear, we are going to need a bunch of smithing templates for the netherite upgrade, and that means we are going to need a bunch of diamond. Hopefully, I will have enough diamond ore over here to craft up all of the smithing templates that we are going to need. We are going to need a total of 154 diamonds, which is a stack plus 26, and it's gonna take all of my diamonds. So let's start smelting our ancient debris and craft up the smithing templates, craft up a bunch of netherite ingot, and then it's just about trading with a bunch of villagers, getting XP and using the XP to put the enchantments on the tool. And then it's time to upgrade to the netherite. I'm feeling much better about our toolbox now. And yes, I know I still have one diamond hoe, but now that we have the tool situation all figured out, it's time for our second project for today. And that is figuring out this situation. So, whoa. As I was about to say before I fell down, this room needs to tie together 3 different parts. So we've got the build up at the top, the second part is this hole right here, and the third is where we have all of our farms, plus the spot going down to where I mine all of the deep slate. For this project, we are going to need some wood, which means using our wood farm for the first time. With this wood farm, we were able to collect up a lot of oak logs and some birch logs. I thought we'd be able to use this to get some spruce logs, but because of how this farm is designed, we aren't able to use it to get spruce trees, so we're going to have to do that the manual way. We are also going to need to gather up these mossy blocks that we have in here, as well as the cracked stone bricks, some of the regular stone bricks, probably get some of the walls, the stairs. Might as well grab everything. I think I've managed to collect everything that we are going to use in this build, and it is quite a variety of blocks because we are going to try to merge 3 different designs into one. If I can pull it off. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. Just need to do my daily collection of slime, and then we can get started with the building. First up, we need to remove this temporary staircase and expand this hallway a little bit. Then we are going to apply the same design for the hallways that we did over here, which uses the polished deep slate along the base. Then we are going to do the alternating patterns with the polished basalt for the floor, and then use the deep slate tile walls and polished deep slate blocks for the walls. We'll take a quick break to kill some slime, and then start placing the floor in here, which will be the deep slate and basalt combination. I've dug out some additional spaces in the walls, and we are going to fill these in with sculk blocks. We are going to fill in the remaining spaces with the combination of deep slate brick blocks, some smooth basalt, and some mud. But it's now looking a little dark, and to fix that, we are going to use these verdant frog lights, and we will replace every other sculk block with the lights. Much better. I've moved the sculk blocks back 1 spot so that we can put a water column in here, and we are going to use dark oak fence gates keep the water from flowing out into the room. We are going to add the water on both sides, use the kelp to create water source blocks, and then place in a block for soul sand and a block of magma. We will then place some polished deep slate stairs on this side, some more on this side, and some more on this side. The next level that we are going to work on is going to start the process of blending the design we have down here with the ruined design that we have up above. The first step in that process will be to put in a ceiling for this level. Gotta remember to get my daily dose of slime blocks. The floor for this room is going to be a combination of dirt, coarse dirt, and gravel. We are going to use some spruce slabs, some dirt, and some coarse dirt to create a ramp up to the next level. And at the next level, we are going to go back to the coarse dirt, gravel, and regular dirt for the floor as well. We want this level to feel like a cave, and for that to happen, we need to roughen up the walls a little bit. It's looking pretty rough, but still not cave-like. Cleaning up the granite in the walls definitely help. I think adding in some stairs and some slabs will make a big difference too. It's starting to feel like a cave, but I think we need to add a little color to the wall. We're getting closer. Let's add some of these, maybe some of this, a little of this, and this, and this. This is looking very cave-like. And now for the final part of this project, connecting it up with the tower ruins. First up, we need to create an archway on this side and over here as well. But whereas this archway is a deliberate one, the one over here is going to look like it was a hole that's been punched through the wall to get down to the lower level. Now we gotta fill in the rest of the walls. The walls are looking good. Now it's just a matter of finishing up the staircase. We have the staircase going down completed, and the last thing that I want to do is add some candles in these little alcoves. And now it's time to take a look at the completed project. Starting off with the staircase, you can see that the candles add a nice bit of atmosphere to this build. At the end of the staircase, you can see it wraps around to where we have the cave starting and the glow berries that light it up as we make our way down to the next level. And then finally, we reach these water columns, which will take us down to our main area where we have our storage and all of our farm. And now it's time for our third and final project. We are going to be building a mushroom stem farm, and I think that the best place to build it would be directly across from our tree farm, And in order to build it, we are going to have to first dig out a bunch of space. Ended up doing a little bit more than digging and went ahead and got the whole farm built. So let's take a look. The design for this mushroom stem farm is based on one by Sliced Lime, and I will include a link in the description down below so that you can watch his tutorial because it's very helpful and explains how everything works. I did make one change to the design, which is this area right here. In the design by Sliced Lime, he used a TNT duper to get rid of some extra blocks that come out, and instead of using the duper, what I did was just create this wall of pistons, which will push all of the blocks that come out because there'll be a single row here. So these pistons will push them down. Once this whole area is filled up, these pistons will push them out over in this direction. And the reason why I was going to save them is because I can then come through with a fortune axe and get a bunch of mushrooms that we can then feed back into the farm, that we don't have to worry about running out. And while I did put in the floor for this room, the walls and the ceiling are not yet done, and I will probably do that in between episodes because I ran out of brown terracotta and I don't have enough time to go collect a bunch more, get it all built up. And I think that is where we are going to leave it for today's episode, just as soon as I take care of this slime. We have made a lot of progress in today's episode, and we are one step closer to getting started with the main project for this season. And I think next time we will get started with getting some plans laid out for what that project is going to look like. But for today, if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And until next time, see you later.